Hello, fellow saints and sons and daughters of the Almighty. Thank you so much for listening today. We're going to talk about the Melchizedek priesthood. Okay, the Melchizedek priesthood is every firstborn son is wholly consecrated unto Yahweh, which means that they are set apart and to be the priests of the family. So this is the Melchizedek priesthood. There's many Melchizedek priests. There's not just one, okay? I have a whole sermon that I did for my congregation and for others that you can watch online on YouTube. But I'm going to tell you right now that Hebrews 7 says we are in the order of Melchizedek. This is Yahweh's original priesthood. This is the way Yahweh wanted it in the beginning. Okay, so everything's going to be restored, and this Melchizedek priesthood is restored according to Hebrews 7. And so what that means is that every firstborn male today is supposed to be a priest and a minister. And if you think about it, if every firstborn son was a priest, there would be less sin, because every family would have a priest that would correct the family if they were sinning. They would do it in love, of course, and they would also correct the church. There would be a lot more ministers. There would be a lot more churches, which we need. There's a lack of churches. The other thing is there would be less sin in the nation, because there would be 90 million priests instead of 3 million. That's all we have today. So we have a lack of priests. And Exodus 19:6 says, we are to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. Well, we are a kingdom of merchants. We're a kingdom of military. We have too much military. Yahweh would be our strength. We wouldn't need to spend all that money on military. And we need to be more efficient about the military anyway. But anyway, also, there wouldn't be corruption in America. There wouldn't be corporations lobbying and paying politicians money to get their favor. That's legalized corruption. That's against the Bible. Okay, there's a lot of other things that America does, but I'm not going to get into that today. What I'm saying is, if there was 90 million priests, this wouldn't happen. So just thinking about it logically, a nation of priests would be a holier nation. This is what Yahweh wants. This is what it's going to be in the millennium. During the millennium, the Melchizedek priesthood is going to be in effect. Okay, its effect as soon as the Messiah died, he became the Melchizedek priest, like the high priest of all priests. And so we are all Melchizedek priests today, all firstborn male. And I'm taking that mantle like Jacob. Esau did not want to take that mantle that he was called to do. And Yahweh said, I hated Esau, but I loved Jacob. And so Jacob was loved because he took that mantle. If the firstborn in your family does not want to be priest, you can take that mantle. That's exactly what I did. And this will be counted as righteousness. Yahweh loved Jacob so much that he changed his name. And when Yahweh changes someone's name, he adopts them into his royal family forever. He did this with Abraham and Sarah because of their great righteousness, and he changed their names. He named Yeshua, who is a king and a priest forever. Okay? And he also named Adam and Eve, but they failed. No, don't be like Adam and Eve, and step in your calling and be that priest in your family, so we can correct the family, we can correct the church, and we can correct the nation and keep this a holy nation, a kingdom of priests, and there would be a lot less sin. This is what's going to be going on in the millennial time period and forever. Every firstborn son from this point on, ever since the Messiah came, should be a priest. And it just logically makes sense. If it was a nation of priests, there would be a lot less sin. And so it just makes sense. And now people say, well, the sons of Zadok are going to be priests forever, and they're from the Levitical line. That's correct. The sons of Zadok will be priests forever in the Melchizedek priesthood, Yahweh's original plan. Everything, they can still be priests, but it's not going to be the Levitical priesthood anymore. That's not how it's going to go. It's a Melchizedek. All firstborn sons will be able to do sacrifices and the like. But the main point is that everything is going to be restored. The tree of life is going to be back on earth during the millennial temple. All those who got their glorified bodies will get to eat the fruit of the tree, and the nations, the humans that haven't got their glorified body yet, they haven't become spirit beings yet, will get to eat the leaves, and they will live many years because of those healing leaves. They'll be healing to the nations. And so everything's going to be, this is Yahweh's original plan, and he is going to make it a Garden of Eden in the end, for sure. Everything is going to be restored. The Melchizedek priesthood is restored today. And so the young rich man comes up to the Messiah, and he says, how do I get eternal life? And he says, keep the commandments. And he goes, well, this much I have done since the youth. So we all understand, if you keep the commandments and believe that the Messiah died and Yahweh raised him from the dead, you'll get eternal life. We know that, okay? But he says, if you want to be perfect, sell everything you own, give it to the poor, and come and follow me. And what does that mean? Go out and pray for the demon oppressed, the sick, teach, preach, disciple, raise up, be a minister of Yahweh, and helping the widows, the orphans, the poor, the sick, the imprisoned, teaching and preaching and discipling wherever you go. This is what he wants you to do full time. Okay, every firstborn male. If this nation had 90 million priests, Yah would bless it financially. And we would have a lot more blessings financially. Okay? And some people say, well, what about the pay? What about, who's going to support who? Well, everyone is supposed to support the priest, a tithe. You give your tithe. And if they were following that law, then everybody... See, Yah is supernatural. So if they followed the law and followed the commandments of tithing, which everybody should, then Yahweh would bless you even more. It says in Malachi 3, he would open up the store sheds and it would be overflowing. We would never have to lack. Do you understand? But because of lack of knowledge, my people perish and they have lack. And so I'm just encouraging you to become that minister in your family. Step up to that calling. If the oldest born son does not want to take that calling, you can take that calling and step into that and become a disciple maker, a preacher, a teacher. Go out and spread the gospel to the whole world. There's 4.2 billion people that don't know Yahweh. We need missionaries bad. And so it's our job to get out there and change these people into Christians. He wants the whole world to be Christian, okay? Not just 2.5 billion. That's not a majority. The majority of people are not Christian. So we have a lot of work to do. We need Exodus 19:6. Yahweh wants a kingdom of priests, a kingdom of priests, a nation of priests, a holy nation. We need to be an example to lead the world into righteousness. Be that minister. Step into your calling. Go learn that Bible. Learn those laws. Keep those laws. And teach those laws. Come on now.